Good morning. I was hoping not to have to do this video, to be honest. But things are not looking that clever at the moment. Things are ramping up in certain areas, and I previously did a video referring to the children and what was going to happen, and I tried to put a gloss on it because I was concerned that possibly powers to be would be influenced by it. But the main thing to say is that, again, that to a certain extent, I was trying to put a positive slant on things, and I still am, down to the effect it's going to have on the children, and they will suffer. And when I was talking about, I would like to expand on it. And when I talked about it last time, I was talking about children in general, as in the birth of children up until the age, say, of 5 and 10. And then I added to that to pretend that we are all children in God's eyes. What is true in a way. But I believe when I had this thought, let's call it a thought, in the past, well over a year ago now, possibly getting on for 2 years, excuse me, that when, let's say, God actually spoke and said the children will suffer, he was referring to deaths, basically, and that the children already knew that this was going to happen for us, and the parents and other people around the world would be traumatized by this experience and be going around in almost like a coma. Now, my belief that when God instigates a birth, we can say they're created by human beings, whatever we like, spiritually. We can say this occurs for whatever reason. We'll just say birth. That the planning of this and the inception of it is already created as such, in the now, and these children, although not born, in a sense, will no longer be, in the eyes of the world and God. So in my eyes, that's a death, because they should have been. The possible reasons for this are, and who knows, but let's say that is the reason, and the deaths will occur before they are born. This is a sad moment, because human beings are actually going against God's wishes, and I think he believes that we would have learned our lesson from past histories, and we haven't, and things seem to be getting worse. So, as I said, on a positive note, this has already been, it's not in the future, it's not in the past, it is now, it's already been. If you imagine someone watching multiple screens all at once of possibly, let's say, fireworks going off at New Year in America, Australia, wherever. Obviously at this moment in time they may have been cancelled, but let's say for instance you're looking at multiple screens on that basis at that time frame. If you imagine doing that in multiple time scenarios, I think you get an idea of what I mean by the now rather than the future and the past. So our perception is linear. We don't think in that terms really. We find struggle hard to think in them terms. But the positive side is like I said, it is inevitable that we had to go through this, I'm afraid. The process is happening. The children are aware of what will happen to themselves and are prepared for that to happen, and it will carry on and on and on the complex of all the screens, as I said, and it will eventually come to a reality that you are in, or I am in, of realizing that this is preventable and didn't have to happen, but we will move forward in a creative way and in love and harmony, but mainly moving forward in a compassionate way and a newfound respect for the God within inside us. I may have to expand on this in the future, and I would like to carry on with the story that I was telling about Middlemarch, but that will be in the future. Thank you. Today is, by the way, the 22nd of the 11th, 2021.